CoD Daddies in the building, broadcasting live from oh so many parts unknown. Joining me as always on the sticks, he's that bad dad of CoD. You might know him as Muscle V, you might know him as your king of CoD, but we know him as Dixie.
Yo, yo.
And I forget your role, our executive producer and head of sales. He's the scariest Jew in Jewville. He is Boo Boy.
What?
And our associate producer, the man that shirts have forgotten. He is the Pants Man.
You flipped our roles. I got a demotion today.
Well, he actually showed up. I had to promote him. And flying higher than anyone you've ever met before. He is the mad one, flying high.
Yeah.
And our special import tonight. Put down your jitterbugs phones because we got Bird Ferguson in the house.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
That is the most polite anyone has ever been to us on this show.
And you can feel free to ask me anything, for I'm Jeeves, and I welcome you to another edition of Call of Daddy 2. Tonight, we are reasserting America's dominance. We're talking about our number one export, junk food. But before we get into it, Muscle V, what happened last time?
Last time on CoD Daddies, our heroes once again held a drinking episode talking Christmas music with special guest Jose. With two pops being out of the country, the heroes struggle with technology once again. A new invention was created called the App Bowl, which is just a bowl made from an apple, I think. Moving on to the main event, the heroes played a low game called Fuck, Marry, Kill with Christmas music. With the heroes going on a kill streak, the score stands as follows with Muscle V at 21 and Jeeves at 8. Let's listen in as our heroes continue on to their next adventure.
Oh, holy crap, guys. We are here in 2023 and things are going super smooth. Oh my goodness. We're starting a little bit late tonight, but we got everyone on. We got everyone rolling. It's exciting.
I'm watching the feed. I've never seen the feed this clear, and I didn't expect the water to look that much like water.
Yeah. We got updated technology this year.
Yep.
You got your shipment in the mail, right?
I know what happened. Elon Musk bought $200 billion, and now he can't afford to fuck with us anymore.
Yeah, he's too busy. It's great.
He's got to keep messaging on Twitter, you know?
Yeah. Elon, you can fuck off forever, bud. We're glad that your businesses are failing, so you can't mess with us. Hopefully we hear from him tonight, though. Boo, we've located you. You're alive. There was a lot of online speculation that you died in 2022.
Back.
Creepy as fuck.
Tone set.
Yeah, so I just had some business to take care of.
No, you didn't.
As people know, I constantly do business in the country of Cambodia. So I was busy in Cambodia, just with my various business ventures.
So the prelude to this episode is about 20 or 30 minutes of tech support trying to get Bird to be able to join us. And I'm sure right now she's just going, what was this for? Why did I agree to this? Why did I spend so much of my life trying to get this to work?
That's probably why I'm being so polite to you, is because you guys had to put this off for 20 minutes while I was a total boomer, opening up several different windows and unplugging and plugging in my headphones again. So
in fairness to you, you're struggling with
you're
still struggling with AOL dial-up, so it is harder.
Hey, very much so. Yeah, I'm logging in from Windows 95 right now.
You've still got one of those CDs somehow.
Yeah. I've been making it last since 1996.
I'm 100% certain if you were using Windows 95, you would have got on way quicker.
Probably. That is actually true. I do have a boomer-esque question. Am I supposed to be seeing anything right now? Because all I can see are your icons.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't have to see anything. You would have to watch our stream to see something.
And I can
okay.
chat right here so she can see what's who's dying right now.
No, we need her to focus on all this sweet audio action. Well, welcome, Bird Ferguson. We're so pleased to have you. You're actually our first ever international guest. You're our first foreigner. How exciting
Oh,
is
thank
that?
you. Yeah, I'm
No,
actually in
thank
your time
you.
zone. I'm in your time zone right now, so it does make it a lot more convenient because if I were joining from where I normally live, it would be 3 a.m. right now. And as much as I love this show, I don't think I'm going to be joining in such
That's
early hours of the morning. So yeah,
that's
so
fair.
it's very convenient that it happens to be this week to be a guest star.
Yes, that's great. I think it is telling though that you call it very early in the morning and not late at night.
Mm-hmm.
It
3
does
a.m.
show you perspective.
Yeah, I would go the other way.
Yeah, I
Like,
would
oh,
too.
I'm still up at 3 a.m. Let's do this. You're like, oh, I'm waking up early to tend to the cows.
I thought it
We
was
do
goats. I thought you had goats.
well. Okay, but
Sheep.
before we get
Oh,
into your livestock situation, do you have anything you need to plug?
No, I don't have anything I need to plug. I just want to plug that I am so happy that our friendships have lasted as long as 2023. So I think that's a great achievement, and
That
I
is
want to
wild.
Lasted
applaud
a
all
full
of
year
us.
so far, right? 5 days?
Oh yeah, I know. Longer
Thank you,
longer
thank
than
you,
most last.
thank you so much for that, Bird Ferguson. That means a lot. But let's see how you feel at the end of this call, and
Yeah,
then we'll go from there.
you never talk to you again, which is great because it's very difficult to join Discord.
Yeah, it'll solve a lot of your problems.
well, I wanna mention what you sent me in WhatsApp. You said the greatest thing, which is that a few months ago you tried to join Discord for a different reason and you couldn't make it work. And you
Yeah,
said
I
you
really
sent
want to.
them an email and they never replied.
No, Chris, they did reply, but it was like a month later, and they were
Take a
like,
drink
"Have you
for
have you
that.
figured
Drink,
it out yet?"
Yeah,
drink for
it
that.
is. Pantsman is the name.
That's okay.
Oh, I doxed you. I'm sorry.
You
Me
doxed him
too.
hard. That's okay.
To be fair,
Have a
last
couple
episode I
rules.
listened to, you doxed yourself, so I
Oh,
don't think
Yes,
it's as bad.
Yeah, that happens
yes,
a
you did.
lot.
Yeah.
No, that particular one was really bad.
We haven't we have not done the wolf segment, so it's really okay.
Yeah, no, the fact that Pants Man one time said his own name on the stream is pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
Anyway, we're gonna meet you a little bit more in a second, but since you did break one of our rules, boo, and you're actually on the stream, why don't you tell us what our rules are tonight, since this is another one of our drink along episodes. We are continuing
thank
that in
you,
2023.
thank you, and welcome to the first Drink Along episode of 2023. Here are the Drink Along rules, presented
I,
to you by Boo Bradley 2000.
are you trying to
Okay.
remember them all?
Yeah, no, I was giving my presentation style. It's 2023. I want to have a new style.
Isn't
Okay.
your fake name Boo Radley, not Boo Bradley? I think we should drink to that.
Everyone take a couple drinks for that.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go with the Booroos. All right. Rule number one. If our
Take a drink for
players
Boo Rose.
if our players get a kill, then we drink. If our players don't get a kill, then we drink. If somehow one of our players becomes the grand champion of whatever game, I don't even know what game they play, then we all drink. If somebody says
Right.
the personal information about somebody, everyone drinks. Or we call that the baby rule. All right. If Pantsman goes on a rant that nobody cares about, everyone drinks.
Yes, I've missed this rule.
I forgot about that rule.
If
I've been in charge of the rules for a while, so we haven't been using that one.
if we go more than 5 minutes without hearing Muscle V talk, then we all drink.
Oh, that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, for
Starting
sure.
the timer now.
Well, there's sometimes where Muscle V comes across on the stream that we don't hear at all, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
If there are times that the Boo Baby is hard to understand because he has his finger over the sound, then we all drink.
Are you Boo Baby?
Yes, I am.
Officially.
If somebody talks
Got a
about
kill?
themselves,
Drink.
if somebody talks about themselves in third person, then we drink.
If there are more than 30 rules, we drink.
Wait, and last but certainly not least,
Certainly not.
if anybody decides that they want to talk about something that makes no sense, then we all drink.
Okay, take a drink for that then.
Yeah, that was going
Self-fulfilling
nowhere.
rule.
I was really trying to be funny on that one, and it just did not. That joke did not
Everyone
materialize.
heard you lose your train of thought in the middle of that sentence.
Correct. That joke was. I got a B- for that joke.
You know what though? You haven't lost a step. You're still the same old middling through those rules as ever. So good job.
Yeah, but for some reason, I seem to be doing well.
You still, honestly, you still did better than I do.
Yeah, that's true. And he didn't try voice, which is nice. So anyway, let's power through quickly what everyone's drinking since we have a boatload of people on here.
Yeah,
Flying high.
I'm trying to recruit people to watch us.
Oh, great. Flying high, what are you drinking since you probably won't be on here very long?
I'm just doing a good old Keystone Light today.
The classic, the standard. It's what we're hoping for. So a little bit of rock solidness to start off our year. That's what I wanted to hear.
Hey, consistency's key.
Rolling into that, Muscle V, what are you drinking tonight?
Yep, going back to the fan favorite, the good old Jack and Coke.
Not a honey Coke.
Wait, honey Coke or Jack?
It is a honey Coke, but it's Jack Coke.
I think I got a kill, but I don't know how this game works anymore.
We'll drink for it. That's fine.
Yeah, somebody died. Okay. How about you, Pants Man? What do you got?
I'm doing whatever's left over
I got
in the
2
fridge.
kills.
All right, drink. Whatever's left over in the fridge. In this case, it is a Christmas ale.
Empty in the kitchen sink. Nice. What
Nice.
Particularly famous Christmas ale or a local one?
Local one.
Great. How would you
I
scale
must
it
say-
out of how many cheers would you give it?
I thought this was gonna be a quick segment. I thought we were moving on.
How many cheers are you going to give it?
I'm gonna give you a jeer.
Okay. Did I hit everyone except for Bird? I'm still clearing out all of the White Claws.
Oh, very good.
Yes. We've had them. My wife's mom brings them every time she comes and watches our kid, and she drinks none of them. So we have like 40 I have to get through.
Drink.
What?
Okay.
Why?
Because you said personal information. You said you have a wife.
I don't think that. Okay,
That's not
fine.
personal information, is
That
it?
doesn't count.
If you can
Excuse me.
identify me by the fact that I have a wife, that would be incredible.
All you'd have to do is go through all the court records and all the lands and find out what are the names of the people that have been married, and then narrow it down from there.
He might be one of the few, Call of Duty players that has a wife, though. Let's be honest.
That is true. That would be really
Well,
easy to find out.
Yep, but that doesn't show up on your marriage license. It's not like, also plays Call of Duty.
Oh, excuse me. I officiated your wedding. If you don't think I added to your marriage license a little box that checked you play Call of Duty, you'd be right.
I'm going to say that's personal information.
Do you guys think the Jeeves database houses any of this stuff?
The SG's bit database is all about privacy and rejects all of that crap. All right, anyway, Bird Ferguson, welcome to the show. What have you brought on? We hear you were pre-gaming a little bit for the show. What are you currently drinking?
First I was at an Olive Garden earlier tonight, and
Well, say no more.
Yeah, I know. And I was going wild on some spiked strawberry lemonades. And then I
couldn't have told you they have that.
I didn't know either. So imagine my wonder when I opened the menu and that was the first thing that it hit me with.
Was it like a seasonal, or is that just always on the menu?
I'm guessing it's probably always on the menu. I mean, I feel like chain restaurants always have like kind of girly bitch drinks like up front and center.
Yeah.
Well, and a strawberry lemonade
Accurate.
isn't really a wintry drink, is it?
No, that's very much a summer thing. It also had basil in it, so I think that's probably just a regular thing on their menu.
Yeah, probably.
And then I continued at home with a Down East cider, which is a Boston classic. And
Ooh.
I'm not sure if this is personal information because it is going to be sort of the theme of the show is the fact that I don't live in the US anymore, but very briefly
No.
for a few years I lived in Boston, and that's where Down East cider is from, and that's what I have a taste for now.
Yeah, I don't think that's personal, especially because we're also going to refer to the fact that you do currently live in Ireland. We've
Yes.
referred to you on the show a couple of times as Ireland.
Okay.
So-
I count that person because that's how we're describing her character. Bird Ferguson is from Ireland. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
And so,
that
and so even if you didn't live in Boston, we probably would just say that you have, just to really
okay.
strengthen the character. So that's good. That is
I love that we're counting our one international guest is somebody who's not actually from the place she's living and isn't calling in from the place she's living. Like,
Yeah, we could all this all be just
Trotter.
made up right now.
we feel so exotic to know a white woman who lives somewhere else.
I've legitimately billed her as our first foreigner. That's how I've written it down.
I mean, technically, it's true. As of last year, I do hold a passport to another country. So
Boom.
Yeah,
I
we have-
know.
And that's just the one you
Honestly.
stole, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, legally, I might have my own another passport someday, but that's still working on that.
I'm pretty sure Muscle V has like 8 passports. So
Muscle V probably
right?
does.
yeah.
Yeah, Muscle V was our closest thing to a foreigner before this. I don't know if you know this, Ireland. He was actually born in the Soviet Union, a thing I can't say enough times.
Every time you say it, we get banned on YouTube.
I know, it's my favorite thing.
I thought it was what was the thing I said? Sandblasters or something?
Baja
Gushers?
blasting.
Baja
Which might
Baja
come up later.
blasting.
And this video is gonna get age restricted as well.
That's fine.
Because I Baja blasted?
Yeah.
Because you Baja blasted all over the place immediately. I got a kill.
Drink.
Oh, drink.
I have no idea if I'm killing fake people or real people nowadays. Anyway, Bird
Welcome to
Ferguson,
Call of Duty.
how is being a foreigner? Do you enjoy it? And do you consider yourself one?
See that's a very tricky question because when I am over there, and I tell an Irish person that, actually I am Irish, I have a passport, they get very defensive and they say, no, actually you are not Irish.
Did you
You are
tell
not
them
Irish.
do you tell them that you've lived in Boston?
I tell Irish people that
Yeah.
I lived in Boston. Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, that's
first
a
of
real-
all, every Irish person has essentially at this point lived in Boston. They all
Right.
go there at some
You
point.
did your
on-
pilgrimage. What else do you need to do?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say you should tell them you never lived in Boston. You're barely Irish. I'm really Irish. You should big dog them, is what I'm saying.
You haven't
Absolutely.
attended St. Patrick's Day in Boston. You're not actually Irish.
I think that's fair.
Have you ever heard of the term plastic patty?
No.
Oh.
No.
So
Am-
that is
Am I one?
a
I'm really nervous now.
I don't think you are right. No, it's very particular
Mm.
type
Thanks
of
for that.
American.
Guys-
Oh my
guys,
take a
gosh!
guess.
Okay, sorry. What is your Jeeves? Sorry,
I'm-
Jeeves.
I'm the physical manifestation of the Jeeves database.
In
If that
fairness,
helps.
In fairness, this is your first time doing this, and there's 4,000s of us in the chat this time. Usually, it's a very
There's
small
more
crowd.
than usual. Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know that Boo Radley actually joined this thing because last time I
Oh,
listened
amen.
in,
Preach.
it
Preach, girl.
seems like you spoke of him as though he was dead. They're like, hey,
That's
remember
how we
when
feel about him.
Boo did this and whatever, and then like not I mean, I can't talk shit about IT issues, but it sounds like he's joining from a potato right now. Like I can barely hear him when he speaks. So he could be in the afterlife, like
It's
kind
a
of
potato
like
that runs AOL though. Like, it's fine.
I live in a pineapple under the sea.
Don't do that.
you sound like it. Back to plastic patties though. So that's a
Yes, please.
derogatory term for an American.
I could tell it was a derogatory term.
Yeah.
That much I knew.
For an American who claims not only Irish descent, but to be Irish because of their descent, despite having never lived in Ireland more than, as like a temporary tourist or maybe a
Does this
study abroad
include
student.
if I say that I'm Irish on St. Patty's Day? Does that count? Or do they
Yes,
accept
that's absolutely. Yeah, no, that would be
Ooh.
the plastic patties are out in full force on St. Patrick's Day.
I'm pretty plastic that day.
Yeah, I think to be fair, everybody is.
Well, especially because for the first couple years that I knew you, you were very hardcore that you were Italian, and only found out since I've known you that you were more Irish than Italian.
Is this Jeeves? Or are you talking about me?
Jeeves.
Oh, Jeeves.
Did that
I
happen
thought
with
you
you
were
too?
I thought you were talking about her.
No, I was going to say, unless I was really drunk at the bars that we used to go to and claimed this.
Oh, you were.
Yeah.
You were drunk. I don't know that you claimed that. No, Jeeves, you. I feel like you were very much like I am Italian, and then a couple years into knowing you, you're like, I just found out I'm mostly Irish.
Yeah, we did find out my grandma is 0% Italian. She's 100% Irish, which really did change some things. It was eye-opening.
Was she just argumentative or something, and you thought she was Italian?
No, she was the like I'll feed everyone who comes in my door kind of Italian grandma that you would expect. And then
Turns out she just really knew it was like easy to make spaghetti, so that's all she ever made, and you just thought, well, she must be Italian.
Well, that's the other. Well, so she grew up in an Italian ghetto, so she can cook pasta like no one you've ever met. But yeah, she's very Irish, and she's now like she's very old and she drinks incredibly. Like she's really developed a great drinking ability as
Well,
in
that
her
sounds
old
Irish.
age. Yeah, yeah. No, it's the age has shown that she's Irish. I think I don't as a plastic patty. That's what I assume. So, Bird, I noticed that you definitely say Ireland more Irish than you used to.
Oh,
Do you
interesting.
do you say any other words more Irish now?
I would say less like the way I pronounce things and more so that's the words that I use in my vocabulary. Um, and a lot of that just comes from like ease of use. So if like I go to a store and there's a line of people waiting, I go up to someone and say, "Excuse me, are you in the queue?" I wouldn't say, "Are you in the line?" Stuff like that. That just you would
Wait,
use.
I want to hear
to-
you say Ireland because I did not clock that you say it different.
Ireland.
Oh,
You don't
good
hear
It's
that.
lord.
not like
That's
Ireland.
wild.
Yeah.
That is so Irish sounding.
That sounds like I'm doing my Irish accent. 100%. You say the Q. Q's a good one. What else you got? You got any other good examples?
The Q, it's not aluminum
I don't
foil,
know.
it's aluminium.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
different
that's
ways to
That's weird.
not
patently
basil,
incorrect.
basil.
That's
If
false.
you're going to like a cookout, do you say we're going to throw another shrimp on the Barbie, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I that's a different island. Pants.
Do you look down more on us now, or do you like miss America more having left?
I left the U.S. at a very interesting time. Not to get into politics, but
So that can mean anything. The last
y-
10 years have
uh,
been crazy.
yeah, well, I left in 2016. Let's just leave it there.
Ah.
So, and it seemed like there were points where I was like, I really made the right decision in stepping out when I did.
Like every day since you left.
Yeah, or every time I turn on the news, I'm like, thank F, I'm not there.
Actually,
no,
I remember visiting you. And we put on like the news. It was like the BBC News or whatever it was. It was some. It was some. Might have been Irish news, but it was just we put on the news and they were reporting on the president visiting, I think, the UK, and what a shit show it was. And just the like flabbergasted, like the news anchors just like, I don't understand what's happening. Like this is ridiculous. Like everybody was just so like ridiculous over it. And I just remember thinking, oh man, it's kind of nice to be here.
Yeah, because from the outside looking, or from the looking back at it, you're like, it's like a TV show. It's not like you're not living in it. You're just like, oh, that's what's going on over there, and how entertaining.
Well, speaking of TV show, the only question I was told I had to ask you was, how was it meeting Megxit?
Oh, I haven't washed my hands since.
Oh.
Pros. There's been a pandemic since.
Yeah, true. But also
I didn't get a timeline. I just assumed it was like yesterday.
Well, no, Pants was actually visiting me, and I totally stood Pants and his brother up to go and meet Megxit. Yeah, and
this is the correct decision.
I remember that because you said to me, I have a chance to meet them, and I am
obviously ditching you immediately.
Like straight up, like she said that. She was like, "This is more important to me than whatever it is we were going to do instead." Like it's not.
Yeah.
And I thought she was kidding because it's the kind of joke you would make, and then you were very serious.
I'm sorry. Like to this day, I'm glad I made that decision.
I was gonna say,
like, I don't know.
You're sorry. Why would you apologize?
No,
I'm
not gonna apologize for.
Nor should you. I was not offended in the slightest. I just was surprised. I had no idea that you cared about that at all.
Well, you learned that day, and then we had a very interesting evening after the fact. Like that was one of those days where like life is strange. You remember what we did later that evening, right?
That was the 12th night, right?
This could be anything.
11th night.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This was your 11th night here, or is this some weird Irish holiday I don't know about?
It's an Irish holiday. It's I'll just say.
I would preface by saying it's a very northern Irish holiday.
Well, I will say because your husband is actually Irish from Ireland and not from Boston. And he said to me when we were leaving, you were at work or something, but me and my brother were leaving your house, and he was there, and we were packing up to go to Northern Ireland for our last half of our trip. and he knew that we were going to this festival in Northern Ireland that's heavily Protestant. And he said to us, okay, well, if I ever visit you in the States, I'll be sure to visit a Klan rally.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, 11th night is very a lot of people would actually consider it racist as well in addition, but it's mostly sectarian, unionist, Protestant.
When you say a lot of people, you mean like all
Like
of your
most
neighbors or everyone that's
I
not
would say
in Ireland?
most of Ireland, like Ireland, the Republic of Ireland. And
Got it.
yeah. It's not something that people would ever go out of their way to see because it has some very negative connotations. So they would this particular group who believe in this ideology that Northern Ireland should be part of the UK, it should be Protestant, would on the 11th night of July every year will build these massive bonfires. And when I mean massive, I mean taller than like an apartment building. Like some
Yes.
of them are several stories tall.
We went to the friendly one that was near the Holiday Inn.
And it was as tall as the Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Which is a quite, a few floors.
Yeah.
And they would, and on these bonfire or the pylons that they put up for the bonfires, they will put flags there, and of course a lot of Irish flags, a lot of EU flags, strangely enough ISIS flags, which is kind of agree with, like, okay, that's fine to burn that one. And then in addition to that, they would also they have this weird association where they compare themselves to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And so they would, as the unionists, they identify with Israel. So there were a lot of Palestinian flags on these bonfires as well.
Just piling on.
Yeah, lots of different political opinions there. And then later in the evening,
just because they feel like they're going through the same issue.
Yeah, so there's
That's interesting. That's really crazy.
It is really interesting. If you go through these neighborhoods, even in Ireland, you see Palestinian flags all over Ireland because they would identify with the Palestinians. They say, we're being occupied by an imperial force. So up north, that would be the UK, in the same way that they feel that Palestine is being occupied by the Israelis.
Did not have that on my bingo board.
Can I just cut in to say that when I was planning this trip, you said to me in a text, you're like, oh, I notice your trip is going to overlap with 11th night. Would you be interested in going to Belfast for the bonfires? And I said, and I didn't know what that was. I thought it was just like a fun bonfire. We're eating marshmallows and shit. I didn't know what it was. I was like, that sounds great. I can't wait.
Did you bring marshmallows?
We should have.
No, I was like,
oh my God, that'd be so funny.
I would love to do that. And you replied with, maybe Google it first.
Yeah.
I love that you got stood up on the same day that you went to a Klan rally. Is wild. What a weird day for you.
Yeah, you should.
And by the way, she didn't stand me up for that. She didn't say, I'm not going to that. You're on your own. She showed up to that.
I showed up. I just earlier in the afternoon, they were doing something else, and I took a bus up there to meet them just in time for the Klan rally. So don't worry.
Did you invite her to the rally? Did you let her know it was happening?
What?
Oh, Magazit.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be very, very controversial if I had. I'm sure that they would have loved to have Prince Harry there because they're so pro UK and pro British.
They probably hate him now, though, don't they?
Oh no, definitely now they'll hate him. But at the time, they were probably kind of okay with him.
Yeah, you definitely should have invited him. But look, we're gonna stop by this bonfire later. You guys should come.
Yeah, I was not very popular with my Irish colleagues in that week because I was like, okay, not only am I bending over backwards and so excited to meet members of the British royal family, but I'm also going up to this event that they wouldn't attend in a million years. They're like, why in the world would you go out of your way to see this? But to be clear, I thought I was searching for sort of an anthropological view. It's I've seen this on TV, I've heard about it. I would want to see it in person.
Which I remember in college, that's what you said about the KKK rallies you went to.
It is, yeah. And honestly, I look good in a sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. I hope I never become famous and this resurfaces at some point.
Yeah,
Oh,
wait.
there's been a lot of comments we've made that if we surface, we're going to jail.
So
Okay,
many
good.
times. So yeah, we were pretty.
You should have
anti-Semitic
you
two
should have heard the
episodes ago.
Hanukkah episode.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm sure with Boo Radley here and
he wasn't.
Boo
he
Radley
wasn't here,
wasn't
which
there.
actually
Yeah,
was
Boo
a
Radley,
big
yeah.
problem.
okay, but Muscle V was there, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he didn't calm the storm. So
He might have made it worse.
yeah, I think so. I think he made it worse.
I just
Oh my gosh.
I woke up the next day and Pantsman texted the group that he donated $100 to the ADL, right?
Anti-Defamation League, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's by the way, that's not a joke. I said it on the podcast.
Once again,
I said
the
on the
show,
stream.
The show donated it.
Yes. I said it as if it was a joke, but I did actually do it.
Yes, you did.
Anyway, go back and check out the Hanukkah episode if you want to hear some interesting takes.
Can I bring up something that needs to be changed? Actually,
Yeah, absolutely. Wait,
So
with
what are-
our show? Wait, with our show or Hanukkah?
Yeah, I
With
want
that
to clarify
show-
too.
yeah, with our show because
Oh, you would
on
love the
our
Hanukkah
page-
episode then.
On our Twitch page that says about CoD Daddies, it says join us for a live stream every Monday through Thursday. That is false.
That was true like a year ago.
I'm
Yes.
gonna say that's an off-air thing that could have happened.
Well,
Uh,
I just
If
I
anybody's
felt like-
listening right now who has been confused, coming to us every single night, expecting a show and being disappointed that it wasn't happening,
We're sorry you've missed us on Monday through Wednesday. We are only
And
doing
most
Thursday episodes right
Thursdays.
now. All right. Anyway, back to Ireland and its apparently super racist fun times. How fun was the bonfires?
I'm not sure fun would be the word. It was definitely interesting. I
Well,
want
there's
Curtis.
there was some level of fun, right? It was.
Shoot, I need everyone drink. I just doxed.
Yep,
Pants.
that's
Yeah.
correct.
you're getting
Um,
better. You recognized it yourself this time.
Yeah. Pants, I want you to describe because I think that you would do this in a very humorous and silly way. How exactly they lit those bonfires.
Didn't
Oh, gosh,
expect
I'm
this
sure-
to be one.
I'm trying to remember.
It was,
I do-
it was
I remember-
it was done in a way that like if OSHA was involved, they would be very
Oh, no,
upset.
yeah. So basically, you have to picture.
I
it's
do
not
think
just stories told.
burning a flag is an OSHA violation. So
When they said bonfires, I was picturing a bunch of sticks of wood. It's actually more like pallets. Like if you've ever seen like a pallet that they use to move freight around.
yes,
It's
everyone's
like
seen a pallet. What do you? Of course we've seen
hundreds-
pallets.
I don't know what you've seen. It's like hundreds of pallets, maybe thousands of pallets, all stacked on each other, stories high, and the base. It's not quite a pyramid, but it's kind of shaped a little bit. Like it gets a little bit more narrow near the top, and
Well,
like
yeah,
she
'cause
said, there are a bunch of
otherwise
flags.
gravity would be a problem.
Yes. So they have a bunch of flags, and then they basically get up. Like the flags are usually mostly like mid height, and then they have a bunch of people.
Mid height on the stack of pallets.
Yeah,
Yes.
like halfway up,
Oh, that's confusing.
and then
Well,
they
just Google 11th night Belfast, and you'll get an idea of what these things.
you will
look
get an
like.
idea. But basically,
Yeah.
what they do is a bunch of dudes just climb up to roughly the middle height. I think they climbed up pretty high
Yeah.
and just started lighting it on fire.
Oh no.
And
While they
it's
were
on fire.
still on it.
while it's
That's
on
a-
fire, they
that's a
continue to
crazy
move
way.
around
Did they
to like
did they
light
start
other
with
parts.
Did they start with the flag or what?
No, they started with I think that they honestly already have some type of like incendiary, like a flammable liquid on these things because it went
Yes.
up fast, faster than wood normally would.
And then the thing is, like, it was like they would crawl around to other parts to like light more than one spot. And so by the time they start climbing down, like the whole thing's ablaze.
So how
Are
did
they
Yeah,
on-
like
Are they on fire?
in this instance, no, but I could easily see how somebody would come away with very severe burns. And
It
I'm
was
sure that's
shocking that
happened.
nobody got hurt.
And I'm
'Cause I'm
pretty
sure
sure
these
that the
people are
people
drunk,
doing
too.
this are probably drunk. Yeah, exactly. They probably have been working their way up to this all night, or for days, like setting it up. And sometimes weeks it takes them to build these.
Well, and we
things.
had all piled up, like we were up against, like trying to get a view of it.
You
And
wanted
then
to get a
as
front
it
row
got
seat?
hotter and hotter, like it got more and more of it inflamed, it got hotter and hotter. We, like the group of people that were watching this, like must have backed up 20, 30 feet over the course of the time we were there because it got so fucking hot that you couldn't stand as close as we originally were.
Yeah, we had to cross the street at the very least. And even then, like, you kind of need to turn away to let your eyes, like, relax because it was just sucking all the moisture out of your eyes, the heat.
So how many marshmallows did you guys eat?
Oh, just thousands.
Oh,
popcorn all over the streets. It just filled the whole street.
I forgot that I had popcorn in my pocket. I never brought it out. When I got home, it was all popped.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Could you imagine if one of those guys lighting the fire actually, like, accidentally did have a bag of popcorn? It started popping in the middle of the bonfire. That would definitely cause a riot, right?
I was going to say people would have definitely think that was gunfire.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I want Curtis to also
Jesus.
Take.
Oh my gosh!
Also take a drink for bringing Jesus into this. We're not using names, bud.
Oh my gosh! I said, pants. There was also another very humorous event that happened just to show like what a strange place that Belfast can be.
We're at the clan rally at this point, or still there?
This is like a few days after. So skipping over the next day, which is like parades with like the most scummy, angry people you've ever seen, and the most garbage.
By the way, the parade was really funny because we went in the morning when the parade started, and it was all British flags and very cheerful, and everybody was having a good time. And then we went and did some sightseeing for the day, and when we returned to where the parade was, it was like 12 hours later, maybe like 8 hours later. I don't know how long it was, but it was quite a few hours later. And it was just as if somebody had trashed the town. It was just trash everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like, just imagine like St. Patrick's Day, but like everyone's drinking on the street, and they have not organized for anyone to clean up. Like there were cars driving down the street, driving over glass bottles, so it's just like snap, 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 just glass everywhere. It was And the funny thing is that there were trash cans out on the street, and they were empty. Like nobody was even bothering putting anything into the trash. They're like, just fuck it, just throw it on the ground.
I mean, you've been drunk, that happens sometimes.
Yeah. But what I wanted Pants to describe is that the following morning we were waiting to join a tour, and we were out quite early, and I think it was a weekend or at least a holiday.
This is the Game of Thrones tour.
This would be 13th.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones. Yeah, so I think it was. So people weren't out and about for work. It was very quiet outside city center. Not very many people out. And me and Curtis. Damn it!
Drink.
Yes. Hold on. Me and Pants. Me and Pants were waiting.
This was because usually we're not so articulate, so like we'll say the name, but it's kind of blurry. Like you're like saying it so crisply.
Yeah,
so
like
give his full name.
The Paps will be outside of your house any minute now.
I'm gonna be struck by the Irish Defamation League
for sure. Yeah, after this conversation, Pants and I were waiting on a street corner, and out of nowhere, this man just sprints right between us, just whips right through us, and we're like, whoa, what, like, where did he come from? What is this about? And another man is chasing him.
Oh.
And then they, in the middle of this intersection, they get into a fight and they start punching the absolute tar out of each other. And we're like, are they like drunks? Like, did like one man catch the other one with his wife, or like, what the hell is going on? And then comes screaming down the street are undercover police cars. So they look like normal cars, but then they have sirens and lights that come out once they're, on the chase. And they come up and arrest this guy. Like, it was an undercover police officer chasing someone. And Curtis and I are just sort of just standing there watching all this go down.
Drink.
I'm pretty sure I have videos on my phone somewhere, but it was just so odd, and it was silent. Remember Pants? They just they didn't. Neither of them made a noise. It was just the sounds of punching in the street.
So you're watching a Charlie Chaplin film, but in 4D.
Yeah, it was very weird.
I like that you. First of all, you wanted me to tell this story. I don't remember one beat of that story. I don't remember it at all.
You don't? Come on, you have to remember.
Are you sure this wasn't a dream?
No, this really did happen. I mean, I know pants does show up in my dreams quite often.
The
but
fact that you've described it as silent, really, because you can't get into a silent fight. That doesn't make
no,
any sense.
like you could hear them hitting each other, but there were no words
That was it.
exchanged.
This is
There
all
was
you
no
could
like
hear.
no grunts, no like screaming, nothing. They were just straight up.
Why isn't anyone grunting in this fight?
I have zero recollection. Now, this is not to say it didn't happen, and it didn't happen when I was there. I have a terrible memory, but
This
I don't
is
have
the kind of
one
thing
memory
you
of
would forget.
none of this is jogging my memory. I will say from this morning, I think I meant to text this. I don't think I did. Last night, we're talking about dreams, talking earlier about Elon Musk. I had a dream last night that Elon Musk offered me a job. And when I turned him down, he said, if you had a job with me, you'd be able to buy a really fancy car. And I said, I already have a Subaru.
So fancy.
Yeah.
Why did you interrupt an interesting story to tell us about your dream that's nonsense?
Because I remembered it.
Why don't you?
I don't remember this story.
I cannot believe you don't remember this story. I feel like this is such a pants moment for something like this to happen.
There's so many beats in this story that you have to remember.
I will have to ask my brother because I do not remember this. I remember a lot of police cars, but not an undercover police car and not a fist fight.
Were the police cars together? Or are you just saying you remember a lot of police cars?
I remember that they showed up like after.
No,
like,
I'm asking Pants Man.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, was this? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I am sort of remembering.
It was outside though. It was outside the
before
hotel
we got on the bus tour.
Yes.
Bird, were you drunk?
In front of a coffee shop.
No, I was stone cold sober.
No, was Pants Man drunk?
I'm remembering this. No, I am remembering this now. This was early in the morning.
Oh.
Here he is. He's telling the story again, but from his point of view.
Yeah,
which is going to be spotty because I don't know.
It's going to be totally different.
Yeah,
it was actually Curtis. Oh, shit.
This is amazing.
Oh my god!
God, I'm so bad at this. It was actually Pants who was in the silent fight with another man in the middle of the street. He
I
just
actually
doesn't
believe
remember.
that. I believe that more. I totally consider that. Oh yeah, I was in a fist fight in Ireland. That's right.
I mean to say, Curtis would never be in a fist fight. Pants, watch out.
Yeah.
All right, Pants, what do you
continue.
remember?
Oh, very little. I do remember some kind of a kerfuffle that happened.
The fact that when you say early in the morning, how early are we talking? Because you are kind of useless
say 7.
before.
I want to say like 7 a.m.
It was around then. The sun was up, but like the sun comes up at like 4 a.m. in the summer anyway.
We had to meet. We were doing an all-day Game of Thrones bus tour, and we had to be there super early for it to start. And we were just there with a bunch of other nerds who were all just there for a fucking Game of Thrones bus tour. And like you said, I think it was like a Sunday morning. It was very quiet on the street. It was well past the time when all the commotion of the parade was happening. And yeah, two guys just kind of fought each other. They might have been making noise, but they were far enough away that it just looked like two men hitting each other without any kind of noise or words or anything.
But this guy ran through you guys.
Yeah, he did. He ran right past. I remember that clearly because it was so odd, and the fact that like
that's crazy.
They weren't yelling. That like the other man wasn't yelling at him to stop. The man running wasn't like get away from me or like shouting insults or anything. They were just silently chasing each other, and then they got in a fight.
Do you think they're doing sign language to each other?
Maybe it was all like psychic communication.
Well, and then at the one point,
well, you don't. If you both know that like one person's running, the other person's chasing, you don't have to communicate anything. I mean, if like a Casino Royale's intro, like you don't. Well,
I will say, if this was a movie, it would have been exactly the same, but there would have been really intense music that made it seem fun. Yeah, without the music, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like I bet if you were to put an action movie on silent, it would just be like, what are they doing?
But it would be much weirder to be like yelling stop. Like the guy clearly knows he should be running from this person. Like if you're just yelling stop, that's clearly not going to work.
And if I think he knew well enough not to ask for help because he could tell that we were a Game of Thrones bus tour and we like watching violence. We don't like participating.
We were just collateral damage waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Like we're in an action movie, we're just the people who are just like screaming on the side of the street and probably get blown up, but like we're not the focus of the movie.
Now, do you guys think there's any chance that those were paid actors that are just supposed to make the start of the Game of Thrones tour really exciting?
I know that's not what happened because
You did another one the next day and it didn't happen.
No. Our actual tour guide was an extra on Game of Thrones, and he was very proud of that fact and talked endlessly about meeting actors. And if those people were actors, he would have pointed it out. He would have talked about it. He would have described the choreography. Like, he would have been all over that shit. But instead, it was just two randos fighting before a bus tour.
I think that's just Belfast, I think, on an average morning.
Belfast is genuinely the scariest place I've ever been.
It can be spooky. Yeah, there's a lot of armored trucks going up and down the street. It's a bit odd.
While you were meeting royals, me and my brother went up for the day, and we did a black cab tour, which is like a thing they recommend you do in Belfast, and it is worth doing. But we did not realize what we were getting into. It is a somber day, the black cab tour. Like, I thought it would be like any other like sightseeing tour of the city, see the sights. No, it is a man, a middle-aged man, who is very gruff and tough looking, who probably did fight in like the Troubles or whatever in the 90s. And he just goes around in a black cab, and it was just me, my brother, and this guy. It was three of us. That was the tour. And he goes around and shows us like places where people were murdered, where bombings happened, like takes us to all these like memorials of like people, like paintings of dudes with assault rifles. Like, it is terrifying. And he just tells you very nonchalantly, like, here's all this brutal shit that happened, and here's why it happened. And it was a gloomy day. The streets still feel kind of like tense. Like,
yeah, there's still like peace. They call them peace walls between neighborhoods that would be, you know, say a neighborhood is mostly Catholic. Yeah, I try to like stay away from the religion thing because it's not as much about religion, but like it would be like Catholic Republican, not like American Republican, but like pro Republic of Ireland and Unionist Protestants. And they literally had to build like walls in between these neighborhoods to keep people from crossing over, especially at night and during holidays to sort of pester the other neighborhoods. But it's weird that they call them peace walls because usually when you build a wall, it's not something particularly peaceful.
Speaking of, just got a kill.
Ooh,
that's interesting. Peace
if
wall,
if I had the choice between trapped on this island in Call of Duty with a bunch of dudes with guns just running around trying to find somebody to murder and going back to Belfast, I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're going to describe.
To be fair, the weather in this place looks great. I mean, this is 75 degrees and sunny. There's palm trees.
Yeah,
like you could easily get a tan here.
I see that we have 5 views. Are we the 5 views? The 5 people on here? 3.
Don't ruin it.
Oh, why don't you go ahead and greet him anyway, just in case.
Hey, fuckers.
No, give him a boo welcome.
Oh, you were talking to Bill.
Yeah, I regret it. Okay, well, thanks for bumming us out right at the end about Ireland. Let's switch gears a little bit since we are running long. You are a foreigner. We've established that. And apparently one of the things you miss is American junk food.
Absolutely.
Do you think Belfast would be better off if they had way more American junk food? Maybe everyone would be a little more chilled out?
I think it's exactly what they need. If they want long-term peace there, they need to open a few Arby's and honestly sell Cheez-Its in grocery stores. I think that will be the ultimate solution.
If you want long-term peace, you need long-term diabetes.
You do. You need to just something that's just going to make you happy after a long day.
Well, so we're going to see what we can do for you, help you out, present you with a couple of ideas. But before we get into it, I do want to know what you consider junk food and what all of you guys consider junk food. And if that's changed for you as an Irish lass.
Well, I would say that I'm very much a salty, savory junk food person.
I'm not asking for your preferences per se. I'm asking what do you consider junk food?
Okay, like chips, crackers, as far as like stuff that you keep at home.
Crackers is a health food.
Crackers, like Cheez-It crackers, like that's not healthy.
Oh,
Yeah,
Cheez-Its aren't. I call Cheez-Its its own thing.
yeah.
Anyway,
And then I guess if we're also talking about like meals that you could buy, like fast food and chain restaurants, that's what I would consider junk.
Would you consider
Okay,
the
good.
Olive Garden junk?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That really expands kind of the bounds.
Yeah, one because it's a chain restaurant, and two because like I feel like if there's a high chance of them just microwaving the meals in the back room, which I think that they probably do at Olive Garden.
100%. Sometimes they don't even do that. Sometimes you just get cold soup.
That's true, yeah, and everything has like an astronomically high sodium content. Like I think that's just like you might as well just be going to Arby's at that
Well,
point.
as a salty girl, you must love that.
I know I do. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying that it's not healthy.
Wait, so I heard Olive Garden is actually authentic Italian.
Well, when you're there, your family, I can tell you that.
I think it's Italian authentico, I've thought.
Authentico.
As a kid, I would have told you definitely authentic, but then I found out my grandma's not Italian, so what do I know?
That should have been the sign that you were an Italian if you thought that the Olive Garden.
It's like
was
this is
authentic.
so true. This is just like being at home.
You
What-
might be Irish if you think Italian is the Olive
Yeah,
Garden.
that's
What-
a good sign.
So they don't have any fast food there. Again, I want to hear what the rest of you guys think is junk food too. But for you, Bird, what is? They don't have any of it. Like I assume McDonald's is everywhere.
Yeah, they
right?
do. They have McDonald's and Burger King.
Burger
you
King. They don't even have
yeah.
Burger King here.
What?
yeah.
What are you
So,
talking about?
I don't know where I would go to get to a Burger King. I have
Yeah.
no idea how the closest one is.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's
No,
wild.
I thought that
Well,
was like
they-
McDonald's. It was everywhere. And awful.
there's probably more competition here, so you wouldn't find as many Burger Kings, you know.
Yeah,
There are few KFCs, but like very, very few. I think
that
probably,
surprises me.
like 5
AFC
in the
does very
country.
well internationally for some
It
reason.
does, yeah.
This is
Asian
awesome.
especially. Asian countries
Yeah.
love KFC.
Yeah. And then funnily enough, Ireland has its own fast food chain called Supermax, and they actually got sued by McDonald's because of using Mac in their name. And
Wait, is it Super Mac or Super Max?
I think it's Supermax.
Like
MACS. Yeah.
Oh, I immediately went to the prison because
That could be a fun fast food
Sounds
experience.
theme.
You get to the drive-through and they got bars on the window.
Yeah, so they got sued by McDonald's, but McDonald's lost the lawsuit because I think Supermax was there before the first McDonald's franchise entered Ireland.
Well, I feel like Ireland could have just been like, I don't think you can claim McDonald's as yours. Like we're not gonna
Yeah.
go for that.
that is funny. And then what about like the chips and stuff and like candies and stuff? You don't have that, or you do?
They do, but they would have like sort of like their own brands and own flavors. Yeah, I just feel like when you grow up with something, you kind of want what you know and love. And
Well, so I'm trying to figure out, are you missing like the specific tastes, or are you missing the like ease of access? Like what things are you missing the most?
Definitely,
Specific
like,
brands?
yeah, specific brands of like treats. So like my big one is Cheez-Its. I love Cheez-Its. Like that's I'm gonna sit down, eat some junk food, watch TV food. They just don't sell them there.
Does
There's
Amazon,
no Super Mac equivalent of a Cheez-It?
There's no like cheesy, crunchy cracker equivalent. Yeah, there's
Does Amazon not deliver?
You can buy them from like bodega import shops, but like you're paying like $10 for a box of Cheez-Its, which like
That's a
I
lot.
like Cheez-Its, but I'm also a cheap fuck. There's no way I'm paying $10 for a box of Cheez-Its. So what I do is I smuggle them into the country. Like when I leave,
Smart.
when I fly out, I usually get 2 boxes of Cheez-Its. I take them out of the bag, out of the box. I stuff it in my suitcase and I take them home.
Do you fly here with like a giant empty checked bag and fly back with like a full checked bag of just snacks?
Yes, I do. Actually, no, I fly here with a carry-on full of duty-free booze, and then coming back,
Smart.
I will fill that with at least the one that I take on the plane with me, like that's full of like dry junk food, and then in my bag is like hair products and like liquid junk food.
And just
So
for
that-
our just for our listeners, I want to clarify because they might be under the impression that you are bringing the duty-free booze for your family. But I want to clarify, you come every so often. I know during the holidays you'll come like for a couple weeks, like you have a little extra time that you come for. That booze is here and gone by the time you leave. Like you've drunk all of it, correct?
Yeah, it's true. At this point, like I brought 2 bottles over. There's none left.
But that is for your family. That's so that you can hang out with them, right?
Tolerate them, you mean?
I do share.
So
You've got a 1 for you, 2 for me policy, if I remember.
It's pretty much it.
why don't you invent Cheez-Its in Ireland? Feels like
That's
there's
not
some
what
white
that
space
is.
there. I mean, you would call it, Bird's Crackers or whatever, but
And then get sued by Cheez-Its down the road. Yeah, you know what? If I had the capital to start my own line there, I would consider doing that. I would also consider buying a franchise for like say like a Taco Bell or
You know what it sounds like you get away with? You could completely take Cheez-Its, like just exactly what a Cheez-It is.
Yeah.
But then market it as McDonald's, they can't touch you.
True. Yeah. Like the untouchable island. They also have like a rip off of the Johnny Rockets, like the 50s diner. Like, they have where they sing and everything.
That's Boo Boy's favorite restaurant.
Do you like that?
That's the most excited he's ever been on the show.
Oh.
By the way, this reminds me. I feel like we are owed like 5 or 6 drinks of Muscle V didn't talk for 5 minutes.
I was going to mention that, but I think that I have heard him sort of like grunt and acknowledge certain.
You grunt, yeah. He does a lot of grunting.
Yeah, I think grunting counts, but it's always good to drink, so we can drink.
Yeah, absolutely. You get. I'm telling you, you get the Muscle V director cut like throughout the show. It's great. Anyway, let's get focused. So what we have for you, I almost just doxed you. What we have for you, Bird, is I think a truly authentic American experience. In fact, I'm calling it the Great American Tasting Extravaganza. So we will be presenting to you a 4-course tasting meal with drinks included, all to make sure that we can hit your nostalgia vibes really strong. And we usually do a great job, so you're going to walk away feeling satisfied. I hope you're excited.
I'm very excited.
Excellent. Boo, believe it or not, you're our reigning czar, even though you haven't been on the show
and
for
then disappeared.
So you go ahead and pick our order.
Let's see how long I stay up on this one. But I think the order is going to be, we're going to go with Muscle V second.
That's super annoying. We're
going to go with Pants Man third. We're going to go with Boo Baby. We're going to go with Boo Baby last. And we're going to go with MC's first.
That's absolutely the most annoying way you could have possibly done that. Oh, that's annoying for so many reasons. Okay.
Like I once said to Pants Man, ratings. I'm all about getting bigger ratings.
What?
Let's just go. Let's just do it. You're first, Chiefs.
Okay. So, Bird, we're going to be presenting to you 4 courses. This first one is going to be junk food that is excellent as a shareable item. Nice little caveat. We're going to be on a 3-man or more rickshaw. So we won't be the ones driving the rickshaw. We'll be in the back of the rickshaw.
Okay.
Someone will be carting us up a volcano. So if you kind of factor that as you hear these answers. And as another bonus, no one can pick whatever I pick and going forward. So we can't have anyone having the same answer in the same row. And we can't have anyone using the same answer twice. All right. We will now proceed. So my junk food that is the best shareable item while in a rickshaw going up a volcano is, you got to factor that it's going to be a pretty bumpy ride. You want to make sure you're not losing any of your snacks. Even though you've talked about it a lot, this was one I already had written down. Nothing better than a Cheez-It. Cheez-It's absolutely going to be the perfect thing to be passing around this rickshaw, enjoying your view, taking in the sights.
I wanted to accuse you earlier of just fishing for fishing for information, and now I'm convinced that's what happened.
I also didn't think I would go first, including when Boo started talking. So factor that. And then obviously to pair it, we're gonna just keep it real simple. We're gonna do like a nice Coke or Diet Coke if you need it dietarily. But a cheese and Coke on your rickshaw journey up a volcano.
All right, sounds good.
I was just say we've got a lot to get through, and normally we talk way too much at these different things.
We got to go
on
quick.
forever. So we're gonna be quick. I think we just accept that as read. Once we get through the round, we can like get your opinion, and you can like pick a winner for the round, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just
I mean, we know who the winner is. Like, there's not even debate on this one.
Doesn't
Because
matter
you said Cheez-Its, and we know she likes them. But
Yeah.
let's
you don't
keep
know.
going.
Somebody might bring up something that I didn't think about previously.
Absolutely. And I do. You can definitely ask clarification questions.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, Muscle V.
Muscle V.
Yeah,
You sharing up a rickshaw?
obviously, we know how much Big Ferguson or Bird Ferguson
What?
likes.
Take a drink for Big Ferguson.
Big Ferguson.
Now you've given away personal information.
That's my
She's
legal name.
huge. She's fucking 300 pounds. She's
growing
huge.
into her
She's a
couch.
fatty, and you just
This is-
revealed that.
This is why she's craving junk food.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going with a soft pretzel with cheese. Obviously, that's the right choice. And I'm gonna pair that with a nice cold beer, let's say Bud Light or Miller Lite, because if I'm stuck in a rickshaw with two of my homies, I want to think of like I'm outside in an open space, and I can think of being out in an arena somewhere, like a football arena or a baseball field.
Such a weird clarification.
Very strange add-on, but okay.
That's
all right.
man.
I'm gonna go. You're gonna see a theme in all of my answers, but I'm starting with for your shareable snack: cheddar, cheese, popcorn. This is going to be eaten by throwing it at each other and trying to catch it in your mouth. The perfect shareable snack. As for my drink pairing, again, I'm sticking with the shareable theme, unlike these other dumbasses, and I'm going with a 5-gallon fishbowl drink. This is going to include vodka, coconut rum, blue curacao, sweet and sour mix, pineapple juice, lemon lime soda, and it's in a fishbowl. What could be better?
You're not spilling any of it, right?
No, you got crazy straws.
Yeah, it's a fishbowl. Of course he has crazy straws.
Alrighty, and I'll close out this round the way I close out everything, quick and fast, like $1 million.
Just like he does
What?
with stuff.
I'm sorry, what? What do you mean like $1 million?
Because it's
How is
quick
that quick and
fast.
fast?
And I'm gonna go with as my shareable snack Funyuns,
Ooh.
Oh.
and my drink is gonna be Kool-Aid.
Very cool. All right.
So cool.
So now I need to make my selection.
You
Yeah.
don't have to. You're gonna choose at the end who did the best job. If you want,
Okay.
you can assign a winner every round. You can definitely ask questions. You can lay down some comments if you want.
Okay. Let's say let's power through, and then we'll see how I feel at the
Okay.
end.
All right, that's smart. Okay. So the next thing we've taken this rickshaw. We have gotten to the top of the volcano. It is, of course, a dormant volcano. Who would take a rickshaw to the top of an active volcano? That would be absolutely crazy. So we're gonna enjoy a salty snack on top of this volcano. Of course. What else would we do? So my salty snack I will be presenting to you it's regular popcorn. Popped volcano side. I assume it's warm enough at a dormant volcano that this will work. I don't actually know if it's true, but I assume it will work.
Quick point of order. I just want to clarify. You're allowed to do popcorn because even though I did popcorn last round, you're just not allowed to repeat within a round. You can repeat in a
Gotta
second.
kill.
Yes.
Gotta kill.
That's right.
Great. Oh,
you
we'll drink for
can't.
that.
You can't use popcorn again, Pantsman, but I
Yes.
can.
Perfect.
Okay, great. And then popcorn obviously goes best with a nice beer. I'm gonna give it a Bud Heavy, just because that's what I enjoy. But if you want a lighter beer, you do you.
First of all, no, you're picking for the group. You don't get to say you're picking for the group. What is a Bud Heavy? What does that mean?
That's just a standard Budweiser. That's not your Bud
Oh,
Light.
okay.
But you should know I accidentally just wrote down Bud Flight, and I don't know what that means. So I guess you're getting a flight of Budweisers.
You get-
yeah, different types of Budweisers.
You get a Budweiser, you get a Bud Light, you get a lemon. What's the Bud Light Lime or something?
Bud Light Lime is great. Yeah. There's
Is there
an
another
orange
one?
There's an orange
one. Perfect. There's your flight.
Oh, Budweiser Orange. I think it's Bud Light Orange. Very good, by the way.
I think actually the Budweiser organization has really genuinely missed out on selling a Bud Flight. Like
I know.
that's
I
just
might
a home run.
might have to call them after this. Well, you're inventing the Cheez-It franchise in Ireland. I'll have to go make a Bud Flight. All right. Anyway, power through. Muscle V, what salty snack are you enjoying at the top of a dormant volcano?
I am enjoying Chex Mix. You wanna know why? Because the bagel
Yes.
chips are back.
So bagel Chex Mix.
No, the bagel chips are back. The bagel one inside. They went away for a while, but now it's back.
Oh, like
You
the
are-
brown thing, the brown salty thing.
I
Is that
think
what
it's,
you're talking about?
I think it's the white
Are
one.
those-
But yeah,
Oh.
Are those?
You're-
Oh
Indies?
yeah,
I-
it's the white one. It's the white one. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Sure
back.
says that this
They're
way
back.
nobody else.
I absolutely.
Did they go away?
detest
What are you
those.
talking about?
Oh no,
well,
they must have removed them. But now that he mentioned it, I remember what he's talking. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like the big. You know how they have the brown ones? They used to have like
Yeah.
these like lighter, white bread ones.
I always
I
thought that
guess
was
I
in, like,
haven't
the knock.
eaten them in years.
I thought that
'cause
was in
I
the
remember
knockoff
what he's
packs.
talking about, but I've never seen them go away.
well, I
didn't-
just
yeah,
bought a
didn't think-
bag
I didn't
and
think
it
that
said
was in Chex Mix. I
It
thought that was in
was.
like your standard party mix,
Nope.
and that's usually the worst thing in there.
nope. Just bought a bag at Costco and it says bagel chips are back, and they're delicious. Anyways, I'm pairing it with a lemonade because it's also delicious.
Can I spike this lemonade like I did at my Olive Garden?
Of course.
Yeah, you guys are
No.
being really unalcoholic in your
No,
choices.
no one's stopping you. I'll tell you that.
Okay, I'll have a flask with me at this dormant volcano.
Perfect.
I will say you are absolutely welcome to a flask. I don't think you should give any points in your final tally for that lemonade because he didn't give you any alcohol, and that's crazy to me. Everyone, just for the record, everything I'm going to offer you is going to have alcohol.
Listen, Muscle V could have spiked that and just not told me.
Wow, that is his motive.
All right, Pants Man. What are you doing on the dormant volcano, salty wise?
All right, for salty, I went with a classic, and for that, I'm going cheesy blasters. Now, if you're not familiar,
This is a made up thing.
well, sort of. It's a fictional food from the show 30 Rock, which I absolutely have actually made, and it is delicious. You feel your heart stopping as you eat it, and I'm going to sing the jingle that came with it. You take a hot dog, stuff it with some jack cheese, wrap it in a pizza. You've got cheesy blasters. So it's a hot dog stuffed with cheese, wrapped in a pizza. That's what you're going to eat.
Quick question. What pizza did you stuff your cheesy blaster in?
I did a pepperoni pizza.
No, was it like DiGiorno or was it like Domino's or did you make a pizza because you're apparently a
think-
crazy person?
I think for when I did, so quick sidebar. The reason I made this was because I was invited to a sausage party, and that was a theme party a friend of mine had where she called it sausage party, but everybody had to bring a potluck sausage based dish. And so I figure hot dog is technically a type of sausage, as is pepperoni. So I made a pepperoni pizza cheesy blaster. And I think I bought like the tube of like pre-made pizza dough and like baked a pizza. And
That's
before it was
crazy. That's a crazy. Okay.
before it was like I think I partially baked it, and then before it was too like while it was still very soft, I wrapped hot dogs around it, and it was absurd. It was a ridiculous thing. You could genuinely feel your heart stopping as you ate it, but it was so fucking delicious.
I do have a question about those.
Yes.
How well did they sit? I mean, not inside your body, but like, but
No,
like
no.
when you
Like
when
a-
you I'm
like a
sure
magnet.
yeah. How well, like when you had to make them at home, and then by the
Yes.
time you took them to the party, I'd be a bit concerned about what kind of condition they would be in, because I think these things would be
Good question.
amazing if you just took them out of the oven, but like after going in the car and then
That's a fair point. I think you're right.
or in a rickshaw up to a volcano. You need to think about these things.
Of course. Yeah, no, you're right.
That's a
It
great point.
is.
Well,
It is
but the
definitely a
volcano
change.
would presumably keep it a little warm. So
It would
you'd
keep
be
some
okay.
heat. I will say that in this case, that is a valid concern. I actually found it didn't really hurt it. It was still really good. I mean, I baked them and immediately took them to the party. It's not like I gave it a lot of time to cool off, but they were really good. And even later in the evening, I went back and had like another little bite. I couldn't have a lot of it because it really did. I mean, my arteries were clogging as I was putting it in my mouth. But I had like a bite of a piece later, and it was still good, even though it was like cold. Like you think of like a pigs in a blanket. I feel like pigs in a blanket hold up.
Yeah.
So it's the
Yeah.
same concept. You're just adding a bunch of cheese.
Yeah, the cheese is the most concerning part because some the cheese just turns into just
Yeah, because
blood.
cold pizza is okay, but
Mhm.
not wrapped around a hot dog.
I mean, have you had it?
No, I guess I haven't had it.
Now I have to really quickly also give you my drink pairing.
Okay.
And in this case, I found something on the internet which I thought was perfect for today because you are from Ireland. And this is something called the Irish trash can. Have you ever heard of this?
I have not. I just know that you should never order an Irish car bomb in Ireland. Just
I do know that.
just advice.
Yeah,
They're
that is
legitimately a great drink, though.
Is it?
It is a great drink, and the names might be problematic, but it's a good
Oh,
drink.
I know that, but even then, like, that curdling.
so.
Yeah,
So this
anyway,
is called
go ahead.
this. I don't think this has any kind of connotations that are offensive, other than it's calling Irish people trash. But it's called the Irish trash can, and it includes gin, light rum, vodka, peach schnapps, blue curacao, triple sec, and a 5-ounce Red Bull energy drink.
Look, Curtis, there's no way.
Take a drink.
Drink.
I understand your disappointment in them.
Okay, pants. Like I Scorpion Bowl and then this shit at the top of a volcano and cheesy blasters. Like, do you want us to all have diarrhea up there? This is just terrible.
You're going to become a human volcano for sure.
Yeah,
You say
there's
that-
gonna be an explosion. It's just not gonna be from the earth.
You say that like pooping, really diarrheaing into a volcano isn't like a life goal that you want to achieve. Like,
Yeah,
I
but
know
you don't want it to go through your pants, though.
I
Okay,
stand
you
by
did
it.
your research. I think that's very original, pants, and I appreciate your...
All right. Is
All right,
it
Boo Boy.
Boo's turn?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
it's your turn. Could you be more mad? Take a drink.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with a pick that you guys are not gonna see coming. And full disclosure, this is something that I've never had for multiple reasons. But for my salty
That's okay.
snack, I'm gonna go with pork rinds.
Well,
Oh.
the Jewish treat.
Wait, what were you the one that picked Funyuns before?
Correct.
You have
Yeah.
Funyuns followed by pork rinds?
Yes. And my beverage for this.
No,
is
you have
because-
to explain why you're choosing something you've never had.
Oh yeah, just because I would like to.
No,
get out
I
of my
don't
comfort
know.
zone. I would like to get out of my comfort zone and try something different in 2023.
You're creating the perfect tasting menu, and you've never had a good salty snack that you could throw up. You're like, oh, the pork rinds are probably good. I've heard 2 words about them. What are you talking about?
I play to win the game.
Great. What are you drinking?
A yoo-hoo.
A what?
I love.
You
I
know
love
what a
you
yoo-hoo
said.
is.
I love you said. I play to win the game, followed by a yoo-hoo. I also love.
Yoo-hoo. Okay.
I also love that you're playing to win the game, but when you had the absolute opportunity on the salty section to choose Cheez-It, which she loves, you went with fucking pork rinds.
Yeah, you guys did give me a lot of guff for cheating, and then none of you used the intel.
You play to win the game.
The real question is, do you, though? Oh, well, anyway, Bird, why don't you break that down for us? How do you feel about this round? Any questions, any comments? Obviously judgments, but...
I think that it was very creative. I have to say this particular round. This isn't where I select though, right? Or-
No.
No, I mean,
No.
you can tell us which one's your favorite if you feel like it. But
You know, I'll give you a hint. Muscle V has been hitting it out of the park, and
Wow.
yeah,
Thank
for a
you.
variety of reasons. I think he's really understanding the setting. Like he said, okay, like you guys were writing him off, but he made a good point when he's like, "This is like you're at a ball game because I'm outside, I'm in a rickshaw. I don't want something that's sort of like that I feel like I'd eat on the couch, which is kind of what Cheez-Its and popcorn would be. Like I'm out enjoying myself. A hot pretzel is not a bad idea with some cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, let's see if we can mess that up. So, you're enjoying this lovely dormant volcano. You're probably learning weird nonsense facts.
Mhm.
Uh-oh, we've totally misjudged the situation. Volcano is very active. It is actually shooting off right now.
Like
So
my
what-
dick.
No, like your butt. So,
I was gonna say, yeah.
so obviously, you're going to whip out a sweet snack and assess the volcano situation. I have to go first. So I don't know because you're in Ireland now.
Mhm.
If you've been to Domino's recently, but they actually invented the perfect dessert. It's called a lava cake. For some reason, they give it to you in twos. I don't know why. And you pour on this weird. There's no way to describe it other than jizzy looking sauce, but it's delicious. Highly recommend the Domino's lava cake. Well, an active volcano is going off.
Perfect setting.
Don't say
Perfect.
going off in such a sexual way.
It is going off. Okay, and then to drink pair with that, I forget what I was gonna say. So I will since the volcano is going off, you're gonna need a little bit of alertness. You're probably a little drunk at this point after a lovely Bud flight. We're gonna give you a espresso martini to wake you up. Also, it's delightful and it pairs very well with a lava cake.
There we go.
She
I
said
like it.
disinterested.
I'm
Yeah.
no, I'm thinking, I'm considering. This is very serious, Pans.
Yes, this is of course.
I'm just glad you got my name
I am too for
right.
one.
You spent all of it. You didn't even hear what he said. You're just like, his name
Pants.
Pants. His name is
It's
Pants. The name is Pants.
it's something with a P. I think it's clothes. All right, Muscle V, what are you eating?
Yep. So mine's
Volcano
actually
is shooting off.
yeah.
It is going.
Right. So because of that, you don't want to have things in both hands, right? You want to have things in one hand. So mine's actually a combined
Whoa.
sweet junk
Wait,
food.
before he answers, you are allowed to flag this as invalid if you want, Bird. I'm going to leave it totally.
I'm
in your
gonna
hands.
allow it. I'm gonna allow it.
You haven't even heard it yet.
I'm gonna allow it.
You can hear it and then disallow it once you hear it.
Yeah. Right.
I'm doing a
I've
root beer float.
Oh my gosh, Muscle V, man after my own heart.
My
Wow.
Why is he so
Wow.
good at this? You know why? Because he slept with her.
Did not happen.
We'll hit that at the end. Is that a food? Why is that a food?
You have ice cream.
It's the ice cream, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
drink
totally
it though.
counts.
I mean, it's got to
You
be
don't drink ice cream.
hella thick. You don't drink ice cream normally, but in a root beer float you do.
I think we give it to him.
Especially volcano side.
I would consider that actually a food, yeah. Like I'm not gonna order a drink and be like, oh, a root beer float. Like that's part of my meal.
Kill.
We have different priorities then. I would absolutely consider that a drink.
It's a
anyway.
twofer.
We're gonna drink for that.
That's
You got to
okay.
kill. We'll drink.
I'm drinking for the twofer. All right, Pants
All
Man,
right.
what do you? Please tell me you picked something real.
I did. I did cheddar cheese popcorn followed by cheesy blasters. Is it any surprise that my dessert is going to be a type of cheesecake? And where better to get a cheesecake than the Cheesecake Factory, of course. And in this case, I'm specifically going with a Reese's peanut butter chocolate cake cheesecake. Now,
So you
I need
see
a
a
drink to
volcano
pair with it?
shooting off, and you get the biggest cheesecake you can possibly find.
yeah.
Great.
I thought very little about the setting. I was thinking about the type of food we were picking. And I see why that is a flaw now.
Just to let everyone know, Pants Man is the one who came up with the settings, but okay.
This was all my idea, and I didn't think it through, and that's okay, because I still love my cheese-based theme. So,
Great.
for my drink, again, thinking about Ireland, I found an actual drink that exists in the world. It's called a red velvet Guinness. Have you ever heard of this? Is this a
Ooh.
thing in Ireland?
I have not, but a Guinness is actually red in the first place. It just is very dark red. It looks black.
Did
Oh,
not know that. What?
Yeah, it
Are
is. Yeah,
you-
hold
That's
hold the
wild.
Guinness up to light. Yeah, it's red.
this
I'm
isn't one of
glad
those
we
things.
had you on the show, if for no other reason than that fact that I just learned.
I
I'm surprised it-
assume, I assume
Go
it's
ahead.
made up. I assume this is what a drunk person told you. You were very drunk, and you're like, "Yes, oh, it's
No,
so
I-
red.
this
It's
is-
the reddest
this is-
drink I've ever seen."
This is official Guinness storehouse
Wow.
factoid that you learn when you go there. I'm surprised Curtis doesn't remember.
Take a drink.
Drink.
I still assume.
I've been there.
Everything
I've
you're
been to this
saying-
storehouse. I don't remember that fact being shared, but I will say that the red velvet Guinness is specifically 1 part Guinness, 1 part champagne.
Ew,
Oh.
that's a weird mix.
I know, but whatever.
That's why it took. No one's ever heard of it. What a horrible combination. Oh my god. All right.
I will say, when I heard it, I thought that sounds gross. Like, I was excited by the name Red Velvet Guinness, and then I looked up what it was, and I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good. But now I'm like,
Yeah.
gotta try it though.
Yeah, I would absolutely try it, but there's no way. There's no way that's any good. All right, big boy.
Yeah, so for me, I went with something a little on the healthy side, and also
What?
something named and something named after something that I don't have a lot of, and that would be dates.
That's not a junk food, bud.
No, sweet food. Dates are
That's-
sweet.
Yeah, but the point. This is junk food.
Hey, you know what? I eat them as a junk food.
You picked a
and
fruit. You can't.
If
that's
you,
not-
if,
that
I don't
doesn't
remember.
count.
I don't think we've given her a
can-
name for this show, but my friend that starts with an A. Her, if she was on here, she'd be the right person to do this with, not Ireland here.
But wait, let me pair it with the drink, and then it will all make
Yes.
sense. And obviously,
Walt.
clearly, I would pair it with the late '90s exciting drink of Surge.
What the fuck?
Obviously, Surge plays. What you
Yeah,
can't.
thank
You can't just be like, "Oh, I think of apples as junk. I choose apple." Like that's not the point of what we're doing here.
First off, I googled junk food, and apples and dates both came up. So
No,
I'm
they
gonna tell you.
didn't.
What do you
Yes, they
mean?
did. Yes,
How
they
far did?
did.
How far did? Why? A. Why are you googling? B. How far did you go down? What are you talking about? They showed up.
Why
Yes,
did you have to
they
Google
did.
junk food? Have you never had food?
What page? What page of the Google search were you on? That dates and apples came up under junk food.
Okay, what are the top 10 junk foods? Big Macs, dates, Coca-Cola.
Whoa!
Dates was
is
not
number
second.
2 after Big
No.
Mac.
No way.
I think this is a tainted search.
It sounds like it's a Jeeves
know-
database.
Yeah, no, this sounds like the reason that Ask Jeeves needs to come back. There's
I feel like in caveman times, like dates would be your junk food that you would get. Oh, let's go to the date
even
street.
then,
Yeah, they're very sugary, but like I wouldn't consider them a junk food either.
I'm sorry. The greatest part of this is like in a ranking of junk food, like all the food you could choose. Cheez-Its. We've named a million of them. Every possible junk food. Number 1, Big Mac. Not crazy. That makes sense. I can see that. Number 2, fucking a fruit. A fruit. Dates. Number
It
2.
is. I literally ate this. I bought this horrible product from our grocery store, and the date is like the sweet of this dessert thing, and it was terrible. But at no point was I like the date is the reason this is junk food.
Yeah, also, if you're
I
buying
did
a
today.
thing where the date is the sweetener, that's one thing. If it's like an artificial food that uses dates as sweetener, that's one thing. But just be like, yep, raw dates. That's
Dates.
it. That's
I
Fuck
just
you.
wanna-
food.
Date.
Imagine for a minute, like eating Funyuns followed by pork rinds, followed by dates. That's an interesting palette of flavors.
It's the
You
American dream,
absolutely-
right?
Absolutely would be flagged as a serial killer for doing that.
I don't remember what the other drinks were, but I will say that if Surge is the drink pairing with dates, I'm gonna skip the drink pairing on this one.
It's so insane, dude. It's so even for Boo, it's crazy. It's Kool-Aid, Yahoo, and Surge.
I think
Wait, come on. Time out. You just said, yeah,
You're talking in your freezer again, bud. What was that?
You call it Yahoo. It's Yoo-hoo.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's something you can take offense to. I'll take a drink for that. You
I
know
do
what?
think it's
I need a
weird
couple drinks.
that Ask Jeeves would be saying his biggest competitor, Yahoo.
I'm saying it's a child's drink. That's what.
Oh
that
my
is.
gosh. I gotta say, yeah, that's insane.
I didn't even
And-
write it. I didn't even write it down. You have to pick something other than dates. You can't-
No, it counts. It counts.
Why does it count? What do you mean?
I've been shit like in more than one way. I have been shitting the bed on this challenge because I have been clearly doing terrible on this entire thing,
Yes.
and you
Yeah.
are still
Objectively bad.
somehow still doing worse with fucking Dates and Surge.
Well, think
Dates and Surge is such a bad combo anyway. Like regardless of situation, it's just horrible.
that's gonna be the name of my rap. That's gonna be the name of my rap album. Dates and Surge.
Okay. Well, Bird, I'm going to apologize for this round. Do you have any questions, comments, or outrage?
I think we've analyzed this as far as it can go.
Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, so for our final course, obviously there's an active volcano. We can't stay up there. That would be crazy. So we are escaping, and like any true adventurer, we are escaping via boat. If you live in a magical world, you also might be chilling on some lava. You might be riding lava waves. But the most important thing is that you're eating this food drunk. So what junk food are you eating drunk? Well, on a boat, possibly riding lava waves, escaping a volcano. So keep that in mind as we answer things.
Will do.
Great. So obviously, being hammered, I was gonna go with Funyuns. I am not because we've cleared that fast food is good, which is good for me because obviously I'm going to T-Bell. Obviously, I'm getting a Crunchwrap Supreme. That way, I got one hand to drive. It's also a delightful food. And obviously, I'm pairing that with Baja Blast. I'm hammered. These are foods I can't eat
A
sober.
Baja Blast. I know what that means.
That's right. That's right. That means we're getting flagged.
You're Baja blasting all over that volcano.
I mean, you haven't lived unless you've driven one-handed with a Crunchwrap Supreme in the other,
That's right. Especially on a boat.
especially on a boat.
Probably a jet ski, but we're not going to specify.
All right, good choice.
Muscle V?
Oh, that's a problem because that's exactly what mine was.
Yeah, should have gone first, idiot.
I didn't have an option.
So what are you choosing? Sounds like addendum time. Choose anything else in the whole world.
Can he choose like other like items from Taco Bell?
He can choose anything but his dumbass previous orders, even though you liked them.
You know what I've V, if
But
this
I can
helps you,
still
you know what
use-
I've had more than anything else while drunk? Dates.
So I can still use Taco Bell, you're saying, right?
Yeah, you can't do a Crunchwrap. You can't do a Baja Blast. You can have the rest of the T-Bell menu if you'd like.
Fuck. Okay.
What?
I said fucking fuck because both those were my options.
Obviously.
Wow. You guys are lame.
What? I mean, they're
That's
the
all
right
you-
choice.
I mean,
You should have backups, but like that's the right choice. Yeah, okay, I know. You got to have something with cheese that's going to make you shit yourself on the boat. We get it, but
yeah,
take a breath.
cheese is my thing.
All right, I'm gonna choose. So, okay.
Just choose literally any other junk. Like, look on your table right now. I'm sure there's junk food around.
Google it and pick pears.
Salad's what I eat for junk food.
All right, well, I'm
How
gonna
about
do.
a smoothie?
I'm gonna do a
So it
loaded,
depends on the place.
the loaded nachos at Taco Bell.
This is a crazy boat pick.
I was waiting for somebody to pick nachos and queso. I was wondering when that was going to pop up, so I'm glad that it is featured.
You are all over Muscle V's dick tonight.
Yeah,
I gotta
this is
say.
pretty wild.
I think that we just have similar palates when it comes to this junk food, and maybe we never realized this before.
You guys could have been food buddies this whole time.
It's all that
Who knows?
pillow talk they had.
Stop
I
teasing that.
guess-
We'll get to it.
I guess I guess I
Wait,
still
is this,
think
is this the grand finale that I
Yeah.
don't know about? Okay.
Well, it wasn't gonna be, but it definitely has to be now.
Yeah.
I still think I'm gonna win. So, I really-
Dates.
Great.
What's your
Great.
drink, Muscle V?
Yeah. Is it just the cheese sauce?
Yeah, just drink the cheese sauce.
That's my drink.
I'll just pair it with like a Coke or whatever they have at Taco Bell. 'Cause-
Jesus.
Whatever.
Yeah, you took my drink.
Literally throwing away your answer for this one.
Now you got the nacho part of it. I feel like I'm good.
Coke or whatever. I don't even actually know what the loaded nacho is. Do you mean the nacho Bel Grande?
Whatever they have that's like got it's a 7-layer nachos or whatever the hell it's called nowadays.
I'm still on the Taco Bell boycott, so I don't know if they've changed
boy.
things, but I'm gonna write down nacho Bel
You
Grande.
placed 155th. That's so embarrassing.
It's actually pretty good for us.
And I'm the only one that got a
Anyway.
kill, so
jeez. Oy vey. All right, did you pick
Anyway.
a drink? Coke? Just a Coke? Can I go? Is it
He
my
said,
turn?
he said Coke or whatever. Be respectful.
All right. So for my drunk food, and I would just point out that I'm the only one I think who has consistently given you alcohol. So you're not even drunk with the others, but you're drunk with me.
We're not
and I'm
100% sure because you have just said things no one's ever heard of.
Yes, I'm taking you to Sheets, and we're gonna
Ooh.
get the fried sampler. And specifically, you get to pick 3. I'm picking, no surprise, cheese curds, mozzarella sticks, and mac and cheese bites.
are you going to Sheets while going down this lava?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
when
put
are we
on-
stopping at? I'm assuming with the fast food, I packed it with me, right? I brought it with me.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Okay.
They're all of Taco Bell and Sheets are on the way
On
down
the
the
side of the mountain on the way
Yeah.
down. Okay.
and they're
I
still
think
working.
that's fair.
Well,
Still
they got
working.
they got to work. Those people got rent to pay, and they better.
We are essential workers. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Now you might ask why Sheets, and
Wait.
the answer is
Sorry, can you say your 3 again?
cheese curds, mott sticks, and mac and cheese bites.
Thank you.
Okay.
Continue.
The reason for Sheets is because it's affordable food at delicious prices.
Ah, that's a throwback.
And
That's
more
a-
importantly,
that's
at
a
1:30
throwback.
in the morning, you can order food and they will make it to order for you. And by that I
I
mean
mean,
they will
put it in a
microwave
microwave it.
it. It's amazing. I don't know if you've had it.
Do you have this video, Pam?
Of course I do. I looked it up because I wanted to say that to you.
My God, he did his research.
I did
know,
the
y-
research.
Pants really, I don't know, but maybe Pants is pulling ahead now.
So,
I mean-
for the listeners,
I was gonna say,
listeners,
just don't explain. We'll just be in the dark. It's fine.
That's fine. Okay. My drink, though, I have to pick a drink. And my drink is also going to be a bit of a throwback. I don't know so much with you, Ireland, but with the rest of the guys, I think they'll recognize this. I'm going to buy a 24-ounce Coke. I'm going to empty a third of it, and I'm going to fill that with gas station vodka.
Wait, we did whiskey.
No, we did 151, didn't we?
We
That
did
was
all
one
of
night.
those. All of the
No,
above.
we did Canadian Club. That's what we
Every
used to
one
always
of
do.
those. We did every version of it.
Well, you're choosing specifically Coke and vodka.
Yes.
Gas station vodka.
Okay.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good. So you got that little bit of that alcohol to relax you, but also the caffeine burst to get you
Get you
Get
through
your-
the
get your,
fire.
yeah, the adrenaline burst I'm gonna need to escape this lava flow.
Exactly.
Are you kidding?
Both from the
he'll just use-
volcano and my ass.
he'll just use his farts. You'll be fine. You'll totally propel yourself.
It didn't occur to me until like just now, but I'm assuming that my 2/3 Coke, 1/3 vodka is distinct enough from Coke or whatever.
I don't know. I think you
I
have to
don't know.
choose a-
Wait, Muscle V, do you mean that I could just go to the fountain station and pick whatever I want?
Yeah.
Good question.
Which means
Anything-
I could pick a Dr Pepper.
You can
could,
pick
yeah.
anything but a Baja Blast.
Okay, yeah. Good for me.
I've crossed out Coke or whatever. And wrote
It-
Dr. Pepper.
If you want to be Baja Blast, you have to go to James' choice.
Yes.
I
All
can't
right.
believe by asking that question, I just helped fucking Muscle V.
Yeah,
Hitting him
you-
with Dr. Pepper. I
When
should
you're
have said
doing
nothing.
so, you're doing so well.
you're keeping it
Oy
close.
vey.
All right, Boo Boy, bring this up.
Yeah, I mean, first I'd just like to say, like, Pants Man, you really offended me by picking something at Cheats. You know I have a favorite convenience store. So I don't know why you would say that and really upset me, but whatever. I'm gonna go
The
with
convenience stores of Speedway.
Speedway.
Sheets.
Yeah, it's my favorite convenience store. But for me, obviously, clearly, easy answer: a bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich.
Ah,
And for my alcohol and for my
Sorry,
drink,
from where?
Are you making
Yeah,
it
wait.
yourself?
from anywhere in
No,
America.
not from anywhere.
You didn't let me finish my statement. From
Okay.
anywhere in America. Thank you.
No, not acceptable.
Just
Pick
say
a place.
McDonald's and we'll be good with it. Like,
No, just because you said that, I'm going to go with Wendy's. I don't even know if they
Oh,
have.
mistake.
Bad choice.
And then for my alcoholic beverage, this is a very. I'm going to go with an alcoholic beverage. Sorry, this is a very easy selection of a shot of tequila.
Wait,
That's your drunk food.
Sorry, was
You're already drunk.
A
You're eating drunk food,
breakfast.
and you're doing a fucking shot of tequila.
if at any point in my life I'm eating just a breakfast sandwich and a shot of tequila, I really hope that I do get enveloped in lava and get vaporized.
If we didn't
I-
do that in fucking Belfast during the 11th night, I don't know when we would have done it.
Hey, guess what? Like I always say, I play to win the game.
Well, while you're winning the game, I'm sorry, did you just say bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich?
Yes.
Can you specify what that means? Is it
Um,
because that's not,
bacon-
if you order that at Wendy's, they will not give you anything.
A breakfast sandwich?
Yeah.
They don't have that one.
What's what kind of material is the sandwich?
You're saying what's the bread? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
sounds
what's
Wait,
like
the-
a-
yeah.
Wendy's I think does have a breakfast menu. Let's just confirm. I'm gonna Google it.
They do.
They definitely they actually have an excellent item. They've got you've totally ordered wrong. They got a honey chicken biscuit. Highly recommend.
The first thing that pops up on the website is choose your bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, and then it has like
Whoa!
That is the
literally
most upsetting thing you've ever said to me.
the whole. There's 3 different options:
Yeah, so you have
There's
to pick which one the breading is.
the croissant, the biscuit, or the cheese, or a bagel.
Biscuit,
Oh.
biscuit.
You're not going bagel, Mr. Jew?
Yeah, it's really okay.
No,
that
not
seems
the
offensive,
Wendy's.
but
Give it
I
up. No, yeah, for that one.
you're fading out weirdly. But I don't think I've had the biscuit there.
Yeah, I was just telling Pantsman to give another $150.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of the bagel there. I don't think I've had the bagel there. So I think you did screw up.
Wait, didn't she just say they have the bagel?
Yeah, but he chose the biscuit.
No, I'm not. Yeah, right. I'm saying sorry. Pantsman, you screwed up suggesting it because I don't think anyone's ever ordered.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think we
Bagel.
need to worry. I'm sorry, Boo, but I'm not choosing that one.
That's crazy.
So
Okay.
I think we're ready to get your final thoughts, but before we get your like official winner, I feel like you've probably had a favorite the whole round.
Okay.
Is there any round of these where somebody won but is not going to win the whole thing?
I do have to give an honorable mention to Pants because I really think that he did the research as far as the cheese theme that he brought throughout, which I thought was very
You don't, have to
creative.
reward, you don't have to reward that behavior.
But she is.
I'm not rewarding. I'm just giving him an honorable mention.
She rewarded it.
He's not winning anything. Let's be clear.
He won an honorable mention, which is going on his resume immediately.
And then he did a throwback to a very special time that we shared. So I want to say thanks, Pants.
You're welcome. Thank you for not doxing me this time.
You're welcome, Curtis. And then I think it's no secret that what Win brought together. I think that Muscle V definitely won. He tripped.
Do
up
you
a
need
bit-
any?
I'm sorry.
Do you need any recaps just to make sure that you don't want to rethink that? Because he did say Coke or whatever, and I know we gave you Dr. Pepper.
Well,
but-
that's because he lost some points because he didn't think of an alternative in case somebody else thought it's something which Jeeves did, which is the same thing. But he stuck to his guns and he went back to Taco Bell and he got something else, which is like Taco Bell was the right choice.
By the way, that is what
giving them-
happens
you're
when
giving
you
them
go
close
to
to the
Taco Bell
result.
and they don't have the Crunchwrap Supreme. You pick something else. You
yeah,
don't
you
go
pick
to
something
another
else.
store.
Yeah, no, you're staying there because you're too drunk to drive anywhere else. So
You're also driving while drunk.
yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. Those nachos, I'm sure will absorb some of it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then I love a fountain drink because this is another factoid about my new home is that it's very difficult to find places where you can serve yourself with a fountain drink.
Oh,
So it's a little treat if I can be just handed a cup and I can go and just fill up with a Dr. Pepper or whatever. Yeah, so muscle meat.
of course,
What?
I'm going to interrupt him winning to say, have you had a lot of
All
places?
right, Tanya.
Wendy's have had them, and Five Guys have had them. A lot of other places are starting to have them. Have you had the place where you not only can feed yourself a fountain drink, but you can like mix and match?
freestyle.
You
Yeah,
have
they
a-
have that
freestyle
big
machine.
machine where you can put the different
Yes.
flavors. Yes, I have. I love
Isn't
it.
that the best?
Yes, and actually, I mentioned it earlier in the show very briefly. We were talking about Johnny Rockets. There is a ripoff in Ireland called Eddie Rockets. It's identical, but that is the only place that you can find one of those machines. I think.
That's the
Amazing.
funniest ripoff.
Can
Eddie
we-
Rockets.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like something I would come up with.
100%. That's 100% the boo idea of a Johnny Rockets rip. Actually, that's just your idea for a restaurant, isn't it? It's Johnny Rockets, but it's in Ireland. New name. He's not Johnny. He's Eddie.
He's Eddie, but
So-
everything else is exactly the same.
The only
Well-
thing I think would be different for Boo's version is instead of the Ireland, it would be Israel.
Hey, there you go, Boo. That you can open the same type of ripoff, but in Israel.
No, it would be Cambodia, where I was doing my business in. Come
No,
on,
I
go
think
with
it would
the
be in
theme.
Israel. It would be called L'chaim Rockets, and it would be
Everything would have to be kosher, so you have to figure that out. But like, once it's up and running, it's gonna be a big hit.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
if there are no
okay.
cheeseburgers, I'm not going.
I had a Big Mac in Israel earlier this year, and it was It
Wait,
a
was
little
there
bit
cheese on it?
No, there was no cheese. That was the
Of
only thing that
course.
was different about it. But otherwise, it was a Big Mac.
Oh,
It was good.
interesting.
Jeeves, you just reacted as if you didn't know how
Yes.
kosher works.
So you did give the winner to Muscle V.
Yes.
Why? I didn't know the country all has to observe kosher. I didn't know
Well,
that.
I don't think every McDonald's is like that. I think some of them are
It's
kosher.
not.
Oh,
It's not
in
all
India,
kosher.
they don't have beef patties. If you can
Yeah,
imagine
they only
that.
the Maharaja Mac.
Yeah.
I have more. What the hell would you go to McDonald's for if they don't have beef patties?
Oh, I've told this story many times, but only on the show. So I went to a McDonald's in India with a bunch of dudes who were from America, and they were so excited that they were so excited that they saw a fucking McDonald's. They all bought food. The Maharaja Mac is the same thing as the Big Mac, except for instead of a beef patty, it is like a veggie patty. And these guys all got fountain drinks. And I said to them, "You're not going to drink those, are you?" And they're like, "Of course we are." And I was like, they made the fountain drink with local water. You will get so sick if you drink that. And they're like, "Oh, the Golden Arches blinded us. We just thought it was safe because it's McDonald's."
You mean they don't ship
they
in
dr-
the ice cubes from the U.S. of A?
Yeah,
Did
fuck
they
the
drink
ice
it?
cubes. How about the water they mixed the syrup with?
That's true. Yeah, you got to get
Bro,
that in a
I'm a hun-
bottle.
Yeah, I was like, you're not
100%
gonna
sure
order
that-
like they had. The thing is, they had bottled drinks. They could have got like the same drink but in a bottle, and they didn't buy it.
The Coke syrup's definitely killing off any sort of disease causing things that are
I
in there.
don't
It
think
kills
so.
all life.
We all got
100%
food
Google it.
poisoning anyway. Like, there's no avoiding it.
Oh, I almost died in India.
Yes.
I was in
Oh,
an
it's
airport.
because you drank the fountain drink.
No, it was because I had the wedding. Fucking Jose's wedding had goddamn food
Even
poisoning.
it was so contaminated that even the local Indian people who attended this wedding, who's
Yeah,
should be used to this stuff, they got sick
no.
too.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
even
awful.
like my shitty cheese-filled American stomach should have been very susceptible to food poisoning. But literally, the only time I felt sick was after this fucking wedding.
That sounds like negligence at some point. If the locals are getting crushed by it.
Yeah.
So
I think
we
it's
have
true.
we have a winner. Muscle
Yes.
V has
Would
won.
you-
He is a new czar. Boo is here. We can officially retire him and put V in charge.
Suck it, Boo. I
Yeah,
did.
on
I did
that
want to
note-
know though. I did want to know, Bird, if you have any, if you actually thought there was a better dish outside of Muscle V's, like if you liked a specific one the best that wasn't one of his.
Didn't I ask that question?
I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, he kind of did.
Did you answer?
Yeah, I said that I appreciated Pants's research into the overarching cheese theme, and then also
That's not.
him.
No, one specific.
Oh, one
dish. You don't-
specific. Okay, let me think. Listen, I'm gonna give Boo some credit. I do love a pork rind.
Whoa.
Really thought it was gonna be Dayton Surge.
So just to be clear, the only person who's won nothing tonight is Jeeves. I can live with that.
Yeah, I
Perfect.
feel comfortable with that.
So
Life's about the journey, Pants man. It's not about the wins.
It's about the wins. But I will say that before we close out, because we're very much at time, but
Yeah.
I have
Look
alluded
at you
a
actually
couple
producing.
times. I've
Not
Well, you-
you've been demoted.
I alluded times. Wait, I want to earn my title back. We've alluded a couple times to the time that this happened. This was a real thing that happened. I'm not making this up. Ireland and Muscle V slept together. That happened. Now,
100%.
would one or both of you like to tell the story of what that means?
I guess I'll tell it because it involves a friend of mine.
Yes.
To set up the situation as to how it played out. So I had a friend visiting from another city when we were all living in the same city together.
Can you give us a
Um,
hint as to who this friend is, with a coded name, or just call her Curtis?
I can tell you-
I'll call her Cop. I'm hoping that you guys
Oh,
remember
yeah,
who Cop
okay.
is.
Can I just add
Oh,
to
of course
that
we
to say
remember.
that, and this is for Jeeves only, really, but as a man who is attracted to men, she was playing pool one day, and we were there, and I was staring at her ass, and you said, "Are you staring at a woman's ass?" And I said, "Nobody's that gay."
No, what you were doing was you would hit the ball, because we were both terrible at pool, but somehow you got good enough to hit the ball so that she would have to bend across the table.
Oh.
You were doing that
So
on
it's worse.
purpose.
So I was
Yeah.
like trying to get her to bend. I wasn't just watching her bend over. I was getting her to bend over.
That's right. It was a
What
great
a
night.
fucking pervert I am. Okay.
You
go ahead.
are really, oh, yeah, that's absolutely disgusting. So Cop
I
was
would not
visiting-
have told that story if you weren't gay.
Yeah, that's the only reason he's getting away with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have
That's right.
stopped. So Cop was visiting, and she was staying with me, as was one of her friends of her ex-boyfriend. So I don't remember the circumstances of how this guy, and I think he lived in the area, but I've met him before when she was dating her ex, and we'd all go out together. So let's call him Tim, okay? So we were all out drinking. We got very drunk. We decided to, when the bars were closed, that we were going to go and have an after party at my apartment. I believe that Pants was there initially. It was
What
Pants-
happened on my end, I
Okay.
came out. I did not drink like the rest of you. I was taking it easy because I knew that I knew I wanted to drive home.
Okay.
So I did not drink to the point where I couldn't drive home. And I remember when I was ready to go, Muscle V
This was a no fun pants man night, because that happened
Yeah.
in this era.
Yeah.
Muscle V says to me, "Wait, you're not staying?" And I was like, "No, I'm going." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And I at no point made the offer to say, "Why don't you come with me? Stay on my couch." You're like, I made no attempt to throw him a life raft. I just said, "Bye."
and
Was
then,
this,
and then
were we at college?
Yeah.
I don't, how
This
far
was-
like you,
Either college or right after college. It was right on that.
borderline.
I think Pantsman and I already graduated
why
at
didn't
this
you
point.
why didn't you just drive him home? I don't understand.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah. So yeah, Pants peace out. So it ended up just being me, Muscle V, Cop, and Tim. And so we were having a few drinks, and I'm not sure if I had retired to my room at this point. Like, I was pretty drunk and wanted to go to bed. I believe I did.
You did,
And
yeah.
I saw, okay, so I abandoned poor Muscle V out in my living
Oh
room.
my god,
with-
you guys are
with-
terrible to him.
No, we were terrible friends. With Cop and Tim. Cop and Tim have never shown romantic interest in each other, I think, before or since. But for whatever reason, they were feeling each other that night,
They were
and they
very
did not
handsy.
care.
Very handsy.
They did not care. They did not care that Muscle V was sitting there watching them. Let's just put it that way. He may as well have been a fly on the wall or piece of furniture. They just were going at it.
So
About to.
wait, how big is the room we're talking about?
It's quite small. He would probably you'd be able to hear each other like breathe. It's like that close together.
Okay,
right?
You weren't physically touching him.
I was
though,
not.
Right?
No,
Right, must have had a little bit of space.
Yeah.
So naturally, regardless of how drunk Muscle V must have been, you sober up, I assume, real quick when it's that awkward. So he comes into my room. I'm already asleep in my bed, and he very politely asks, "Hey, Aaron, can I stay in here tonight?" And I'm like,
Take
"Yeah,
a drink,
sure."
real quick for doxing yourself.
Okay. So I didn't box myself because Ireland and Aaron are mean the same thing. So I'm just using.
I also love in this version of the story, you're super welcoming and like, oh yeah, totally, stay here.
No, I probably mumbled like, "Ugh," and then threw him a blanket on the floor. I'm pretty sure it was probably that was the extent.
I think I was planning on sleeping on the floor anyways.
Yes, and so he curled up on the floor. Who knows what's happening in the other room at this point? It's probably pretty pornographic. And then maybe, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, you realize that the floor is actually really uncomfortable. So
bad.
I hear out of the darkness, "Hey, Ireland, can I just like sleep in your bed?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And so he slept in my bed.
Now, my recollection of the story. Now, this happened to you. I heard this only secondhand, but my recollection of the story is he said, "Oh, the floor is really uncomfortable," and then you rolled your eyes.
I say, fine.
And you said, "Fucking fine."
Maybe
Muscle
I
V,
did.
how
Muscle V,
uncomfortable
how
is
did it
this
happen?
floor?
I don't remember the exact words, but I'm pretty sure I laid on the floor and I'm like, this fucking sucks. And I was like, Big Bird, can I just sleep in the bed with you?
Now, in fairness to you, she did her room was covered in spikes. Like you weren't just sleeping on a regular
There
floor.
was garbage all over the floor, used tampons, everything. It was just it was.
The used tampons were the best part. That was padding from the garbage that you had.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't actually remember like the morning, like waking up, like. Yeah, I don't remember it being like. I mean, it should have been like super awkward. Not like us even really sharing the bed, but the fact that like who knows what was happening out there with Cop and
Tim. You should have just been Lysoling everything you could.
I know. I don't actually remember.
Did you move the next day? Maybe you just left.
I don't know. I don't think so.
That's when you went to Boston, maybe.
Yeah, I just burned the apartment and left.
I do feel like when a man is in your room and then
we're talking about Muscle V or Tim?
We're talking about any man. When any man says, "Can I sleep in your bed?" Like there is sort of an assumption of something awful is going to go down if you're not into that. But the truth is, at no point was he ever like in any way trying to get anywhere. He literally was like, "This is uncomfortable. I want to sleep in a real bed." Like that was literally it.
Yeah, there was no funny business attempt. It was just like literally like that. This sucks. I'm stuck here, and you have to make.
Pants Man has abandoned me. He has a luxurious couch, which, by the way, Jeeves slept on for like a week. Like Jeeves.
Oh, that's right.
Jeeves spent a week of his life in my apartment, and
oh my god, I forgot about that.
At the time, I was in
we
the
got
same
super
apartment.
into that one show.
I absolutely could have invited Muscle V to spend one night in that same couch that you spent a week on. And instead I said, bye. You
could have just drove him home. I don't he was
maybe he was like, "No, I'm gonna stay," because like maybe at that point we were having fun, and then as soon as Pants left, the party was over.
I distinctly this is not making me sound good, but I distinctly remember that he looked so defeated and lost when I said, "I'm going." And he was like, "What? you're leaving? I thought we were in this together. And I was like, bye. And I made no attempt. I could have driven him home. I could have brought him to my place. So many options. I just bailed.
Why didn't you just be like, listen, I'm not driving you home because it's so late at night. Like, just come and sleep at my place.
I totally could have. I did not do that. The only thing I can think is that at the time I must have thought
Pantsman was so mad. Like, this was an era where like every other night he would be super fun or super annoying. I have to assume it was the latter.
Well, and the only thing I can think that would justify it, and this doesn't justify it, but it's the best I can come up with, is that if I had brought him back to my place, it would have meant driving him back down to get his car later. Because he drove there.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I would have had to get him to his car the next day, which, by the way, is not a big deal. I had nothing going on.
Horrible defense. It's not like
not
you're
a defense. It's the best. That is the closest I can come to defense, and it's still shitty fucking behavior for a so-called friend.
I like that you have a vivid memory of you being a terrible friend, but you can't remember a fight in Belfast, Ireland.
At all. I have so much clarity on abandoning Muscle V with nothing but glee, frankly. And yet a fight broke out in front of my face, and I'm like, I guess that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a... So it really is kind of... I completely forgot the fact that Pants has sort of abandoned him there. Like, now I actually kind of feel bad for Muscle V.
I gotta say,
never feel bad for Muscle V.
I went through an evolution because I feel like when I was in college, I was a piece of shit asshole. And I slowly became less of an asshole over the last decade.
Did you?
Well.
Yeah. Contest that one.
Try to sleep in my bed and I'll let you, but you'd have to already be in my city. So
Muscle V, do you remember the morning after? I don't remember anything.
I don't.
Did you
like, how did you get back to your car?
It sounds like that's in play.
Well, I think we parked at your apartment. I think is what happened.
Yeah. Oh, so your
car
was outside.
From your apartment to the bars.
I think in the morning I just got up and left.
Okay.
Did you walk of shame out of there?
He must have.
There's only to be shamed of, but yeah.
Well,
You're the only one with no shame in this story.
You would have had to walk past a couple that was completely naked on a couch, probably.
I didn't even look in that direction. For sure.
That's a walk of shame. That's what a walk of shame is. Yeah, Pantsman would try to make her bend over.
What a messy time.
Oh my gosh.
Before we get out of here, I want you guys to know that Boo Boy has updated his name.
Oh my gosh.
To Boo.
What?
Boo Baby.
Look at his name.
Yeah, Boo Baby.
Boo Baby. That's not what that says.
I do prefer Boo Baby. So we went from Boo Radley to Boo Baby to now Boo Baby. I'm all for it.
That sounds like some shit on Sesame Street. Like Elmo goes to visit Boo
Baby. Da da da. Boo Baby.
First off, we said on multiple episodes that I'm pretty much a Muppet, so it kind of goes along with that.
I like that you think they introduce Sesame Street characters by just singing their name to the Sesame Street theme song.
Is that not what it? Elmo, da da da, Elmo, right?
That's how every show introduces a new character.
Oscar the Grouch, da da da, Oscar the Grouch. Yeah, that's how they do it.
Snuffleupagus. Yeah, it's just exactly what they do. All right, we should. It's very long. We should go on and get out of here. Let's go and check in with everyone before everyone bails on us. Boo, before you leave, what do you got for us tonight?
I just want to remind everybody that Spain.
We didn't hear what you said.
You cut out.
I just want to remind everyone to have their pets spayed and neutered.
Vance Man, what do you got for us?
This last weekend, my boyfriend pointed out that my reaction to a very cheese-filled dish might indicate that maybe I do have lactose intolerance after all. And my reaction was, I'd rather have the shits than give up cheese.
All right, because we could And what would Boo say?
Oh, you know what? Stuff because he's kind of an anti-Semite.
Oh, so much more authentic Boo. Muscle V, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I just want to welcome everybody to the Muscle V era.
Oh, love it. What would our Intent 2 Pop
confidence.
say if he could make it?
Are you asking me?
Muscle V? Yeah.
Oh, Mexico.
It is your era.
Mexico, something. Mexico.
You have to do the voice. I like when you do his voice.
Something Mexico.
All right, well, we appreciate you sticking with us the whole time, Bird. Do you have anything you'd like to cast out into the world?
I just want to say thank you for the IT professionals who joined me tonight and helped me figure
Yes, this
out.
should
We only started an hour and 45 minutes late because I didn't know how to open Internet Explorer.
This should be a real professional boon for you now that you know how the internet works.
Now I just have to go and get involved in some conspiracy theories.
Ooh, there's a lot out there.
No, yeah.
Including on this show. Anyway, I want to thank all of you for sticking with us tonight. I hope you're enjoying the new year. You can find us pretty much everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, that's it. We'll catch you next time, though. I just want to remind you that even if you're lactose intolerant, doesn't mean you can't shit into a volcano. CoD Daddies out.